In this lecture, we will learn what are chamfers and how we apply them. Chamfers are basically a way to remove sharp edges using an angled slope. Those images show what is a chamfer. We are going to use this model to show how we create chamfers. So in the edges here, we have fillets. For whatever reason, we don't want fillets anymore. Instead, we want chamfers. So first, we're going to delete those fillets. Go to the design tree, right-click fillets, and then choose delete. Click yes, and we deleted the fillets. So let's apply chamfers. In the command bar, under fillet, you see a drop-down menu. If you click on it, you're going to see chamfer. So let's click on that. On the left, you see the chamfer parameters. Let's go ahead and explain the three main parts in these parameters. The first box is where you can select the edges or faces that you want to apply the chamfer to. So if we select this box and then click on this edge, you see we are going to apply the chamfer here. So let's delete this edge. Below the box, we see three options: angle distant, distant distance, and vertex. Those represent the methods of how we can measure the chamfer. Finally, you see fields for numbers, and this is where we measure the chamfer. So let's go ahead and start looking at the three methods of creating chamfers. First method is angle distant. If we select this option, we are allowed to determine a distant and an angle which represent the measurement of the chamfer. So let's try it out. So I'm going to select this edge here, and then I'm going to increase the distance just so you can see the effect. And now I'm going to change the angle as well, just so you see how this affects the chamfer. Notice that the angle is getting smaller. If I click OK, we see the chamfer we generated. Let's look at the other two methods. So I'm going back to the design tree, right click on the chamfer, and choose Edit Feature. Let me delete this edge for now. Let's try out the distant method. So if I click on distant, you'll notice that the measurement changed into two distances which we can use to specify the chamfer. So let's go ahead and select this other edge here. And then I'm going to change those dimensions. And you see if you change the dimension, the chamfer angle changes as well. And in this case here, the first distance represents the distance from the edge to the bottom of the chamfer. And then the second distance represents the distance from the edge right to the other end of the chamfer. So if I'm satisfied with this, I can click OK, and you see the chamfer. Let's try out the last method. I'm going back to Edit Feature, and then I'm going to delete this edge, and we're going to look at the third method. The third method is a vertex. You use this method if you want to create the chamfer on the vertex of a shape. And you notice we actually have three measurements this time. So let's go ahead and click on this vertex. Now you can see the three measurements: distant 1, distant 2, distant 3. Let's go ahead and change distant 1. I'm increasing it right now, and you are able to notice that the chamfer is being increased from one distance only. If I increase the other distance, you notice again the chamfer increases from one other distance. Let's say I'm satisfied with this measurement right here. I can click OK, and we have a vertex chamfer. The chamfer we want has a distance of 0.25 inches and an angle of 45 degrees. So let's go ahead and apply that. I'm going to edit feature. I'm going to delete this vertex, and then I'm going to select angle distance because those are the two measurements we have. In the distance, I'm going to input 0.25, and then on the degree, I'm going to input 45. We want this chamfer to be applied on both the top and bottom surfaces to replace the fillet we deleted earlier. So in this selection, I'm going to click on the top surface, and then I'm going to flip the model, and I'm going to click on the bottom surface as well. Now we have the two surfaces selected. Notice the preview, that's what we want. I can click OK, and we have replaced the chamfers, and we're done replacing fillets with chamfers.